What's up, guys? This is Slurred Word, whatever number it is. I don't know. I didn't look it up first. And my memory is shit, so I don't know where I left off. I think it's like 5 or 6. I don't know. But, I've written this sort of as an expression of how sometimes I'm frustrated with selling sex without giving too much of myself and knowing that balance and questioning whether it's really effective or if I'm just sort of getting lost in all the other women who are, I don't know, semi-nude or whatever term they prefer. Some of them fully nude. And I don't want to say for likes because that sounds like I'm demeaning other women's choices when in fact I think it's a woman's right to do whatever she wants to do, as long as she's doing it for the right reasons. If she is doing it because she likes it and she feels sexy and that's what she wants to do when she's feeling sexy, then I would totally green light and support that, not that she needs it. But I mean, if it's to fill some void or if it's the only way that she feels sexy or other things that are rooted in negativity or self-doubt or a self-esteem issue, then in that case, yeah, I would definitely say, to work from the inside out, But whatever. So I wrote this, I guess this piece called Minority Report. Admittedly set myself up for objectification in the name of advertising, but sometimes I'm irritated by some of my parts being viewed as the sum of my parts. More. There's so much more to me. And not in the I am woman, hear me roar, I'm not a set of tits way. I love me. All of me. And I don't think showcasing that I dig my thighs thick and my round mounds in any way makes me less of a woman, but more. Society tells me in my absence in magazines or a special section for me to shop or typical representation of someone my size in film being portrayed in a comedic way or the glances. The scolding glances of strangers should I decide to have a snack outside, that I have no business loving me like this. So it is no small feat to do so. Depending on how I chose to celebrate overcoming that emotional adversity, introduced me to slut-shamers or silent invitations, even if I vocalize that it's unsolicited. There are days I question if the flack I catch would even exist if I look different. But occasional self-doubt and all, when I see me looking back, I smile. Genuine. And I take what others can't help but notice and use it to my advantage. But when dealing with visual creatures, you can't ignore that you've cast a large shadow on your other parts. I've essentially eclipsed myself with myself. Would I be a better writer if I wore turtlenecks? No. Would I be less known? Of course. But for the constant redirection, is it worth it? Is it effective? Would I be throwing out the baby with the bathwater to change my image? I would love to be known as the overly sensitive, compassionate friend who freely converses about all things because she has an insatiable hunger for knowledge on a larger scale. As an author, I'd like my metaphors and double entendres and relatability to resonate more than the double tap or double take that got you here. As a woman, as a black person, as a fat person, I am no stranger to being a minority, but none is greater than understand what being, all of that means, how all of that feels, and to go about trying to be the best version of you possible when life says, you don't count. And I mean, I know some people might have something to say in the comments about fat or not being fat. People always run to like rescue you from calling yourself fat. Fat is an adjective. You know, it's not. Some people might see it as demeaning because it's not something that is said positively in our society, but it's just an adjective. I am not a skinny person. I am not just a thick person. And pretending that I am doesn't make me less fat. Like, I'm just fat. And I'm okay with being fat. So I don't feel like anybody has to address that issue just for the sake of, you know, deflecting those comments before they arrive. But I do feel a little like I'm promoting sex. I'm talking about a sex column. I'm talking about a book that I've written about more than 30 stories of sexual activity and intimacy and just all things erotic. And I read about sexual psychology, and sex is on my brain all the time, and I think of it in a very general sense. But then when I put myself out there and I like who I am and I view myself as a sexual being, any expression of sexuality from a woman is automatically taken to be a whore. You know, it's like everyone seems to think that feminism should stop just short of sexuality. You know, it's like all things equal and equal pay and equal this and equal that. And then as soon as it gets to sex, it's like not the same. You know, if a woman is wanting to have casual sex, then it's a problem. You know, she gets the names and everything. And I mean, it's nearly 2015. It seems kind of ridiculous that we're still dealing with that double standard. I mean, if anything, I feel like these guys should be grateful for the hoes. And I mean, you don't want to have to settle down and marry every single woman you want to have sex with. So you should be grateful for any woman who understands that casual sex can be okay. Because otherwise, you would have to lie all the time, which a lot of men resort to doing anyway, just to get her to lay down with you. And if you could all just be honest, you know, we'd all be better off. And the slut shaming. And, you know, it's like a double-edged sword for women. You know, you like, a guy wants you to send him nudes. But then if the girl's nudes get leaked, then she's a whore. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like he's deceitful or he's cruel or he's a liar or he abused her trust. It's like, she's a whore. But then the next person who dates her, you know, if she doesn't want to send nude photos and she's apprehensive, then it's like pulling teeth and then you're agitated. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be balance. And I don't know, living in 2014, all I can say is it's some bullshit, y'all. And you need to be nice to one another and respectful to one another. And I had a whole tangent just now about feminism and equality because it's something that's just on my mind. And I don't know, it upsets me. Like, I just saw that somebody's sex tape got leaked, and, you know, the whole thing with the fappening and all the celebrity nudes that got leaked. It's just sad, you know, because a lot of those women were taking photos for their significant other's eyes only. And all the same, like, they get called a bunch of names and people got to see private parts of them and demean them for photos. And I don't know, some of that stuff also got me to thinking about the way that I present myself and in the name of whatever. I don't know. I'm rambling now. So I'm going to end this. This is what happens when I have too much of my Ciroc for the slurred word. It's just babbling. But if you are still here, I'm thankful and grateful that you were watching this video. And I would love to hear any feedback that you have. Excuse me, I just burped. That is so disgusting. That's Ciroc and Sprite. The Sprite just It wanted to dance in my throat, and I can't blame it. My throat is a great place to be. Anywho, I'm done, and I'm going to go now before more burps come, because that's not sexy at all. Thanks for watching. Smooches.